Hello ladies and gentlemen, One Gamer and his dog here. Today I'm going to be talking about the 5 reasons why I think Hideo Kojima is currently trolling us at the moment with the most recent news. Well, it's not even been really confirmed properly, kind of, yet. Anyway, people are saying that Kojima's left Konami and that the Phantom Pain could be his last game and that he may actually not be majorly involved with it because of the leaks of the artwork. Look, Kojima's got a known and documented history of playing with gamers' minds and brains. That is why I've got this on my head to stop any more of his shenanigans infecting me and causing me to believe that there are little robots that are running around the room at the moment. Anyway, here are the 5 reasons why I think Kojima is playing us for fools.
Metal Gear Solid broke new ground in the gaming world, and the 5th instalment of the game, The Phantom Pain, is scheduled for release later this year. The latest version is surrounded with controversy and speculation surrounding Hideo Kojima and his working relationship with Konami. It's very strange that Konami have decided to remove the phrase "a Hideo Kojima game" from all promotional art. In the world of gaming, there are designers that stand head and shoulders above their rivals. These designers create a brand that defined a genre. One of Hideo Kojima's stamps is being a working troll of the highest order. Now, to be clear, I do not mean troll to mean being horrible on the internet, a kind of over-encompassing term that has become now. Trolling is the art form of deliberately lying or saying outrageous comments to elicit a strong reaction from people and watch the chaos unfold. I also use the term working in the wrestling term, meaning to work the crowd and get them to behave how you want. In other words, a working troll seeks to manipulate and control the narrative of how the crowd, in this case the gamers, will react. Kojima has a documented history of playing with fan expectations to make us feel and act how he wants. However, sometimes he just simply does it for the lols. This is why I don't believe that he's really left Konami, and that the Phantom Pain will still be a Hideo Kojima game. For those die-hard gamers, we'll recall Kojima's history of creativity and misdirection.
Sit. Number 5.
Now, a staple of the franchise has been breaking the fourth wall. This is not always done for fan service or humour, but instead to play with the expectation of gamers and to take us out of our comfort zone. There has been many incidents of this across the series, with the most famous being the Psycho Mantis battle in Metal Gear Solid. Tricks would be done such as, if you had a Konami based save file, Psycho Mantis would comment on them saying things like, "You like Castlevania, don't you?" If you had the Rumble controller, he would tell the player to place the game controller on the ground and that he will move it with the power of his mind. Now, most famously was the use of the blackout technique. He would change the player's screen to a black screen reading Hideo in green lettering in the top corner. At the time, this replicated most standard television video sets. In 1999, this was amazing and something that we hadn't really seen before in gaming.
Lay down. Number 4.
Metal Gear Solid 2 was going to be amazing, and it still is. The screenshots and videos were glorious, and fans who bought Zone of Enders, such as myself, were treated to a demo disc of the game. It was everything we wanted, and showed off how amazing the PS2 will be as the years would go on. The water effects from the rain, being able to shoot enemy radios to stop them from calling in backup, exploding fruit, flour and glass bottles in gunfights, it just looked astounding. 2001 was also the early days of the internet, where information was not widely spread. When a game was released, you didn't stumble across spoilers by Let's Players, or read spoiler-riddled tweets such as, "Would you kindly know that the cake is a lie?" We started the game as Solid Snake, explored part of a tanker, gazed upon the new Metal Gear, and escaped. And then we had to play as some guy called Raiden, platinum blonde hair, didn't smoke, he had a whiny little voice and moaned about his angst and emotions. Bearing in mind, this is at the time when emo kids are a thing. No one knew what was going on. Hideo Kojima had masterfully played us all for fools, and we fell for it. As we continued the game, we figured out that they had changed the character model in the promotional footage from Raiden to Snake. Looking back, I can appreciate this whole facade as a work of performance art. At the time, I was pretty annoyed. The chicken hat incident, however, is too soon, and it still hurts.
Paul. Number 3.
On Christmas Day, there was an event that could be watched called Kojima Station. The idea was that he would give fans a neat look behind the scenes on Metal Gear Solid 5. So we watched 3 hours of him talking about films, which was pretty interesting. Except around the 174th minute mark, we saw Snake wearing a chicken hat. He then explained to us that if you die too many times, or if you get caught tons, the game would ask, "Would you like to use a chicken cap? Yes or no?" If you say yes, you'll start wearing the chicken hat, and enemies will react to you slower. Therefore, the game is calling you a chicken for wearing the hat. Now, the series has always been one for humour, but this just hurt.
Go get your toy. Number 2.
Every Metal Gear Solid game since Sons of Liberty was going to be the last. You said this more times than leaks information about Half-Life 3. The switch of Snake to Raiden was, according to him, if you watch the documentary that was released with the game, a metaphor for the passing of the series from him to a new team of developers. I really think that it's time for me to hand the directorial role over to someone else. I might do the initial planning for the next game, but not much more than that. So then he comes back to doing Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater because he wanted to make a trilogy, and this would be the final one, promise. Then came Metal Gear Solid 4 Sons of the Patriots. But this was also part of a trilogy to tie up all the loose ends from Sons of Liberty, because Snake Eater was a prequel, so we didn't really get the answers from the second one. And this is all getting a little bit like the 5 books of the Hitchhiker's Guide trilogy. So that's it. The story was finished. And then Metal Gear Solid 5 was announced. Kojima himself has said, I always say this will be my last Metal Gear. But the games in the series that I've personally designed and produced, Metal Gear on MSX, Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, Peace Walker, and now Metal Gear Solid 5, are what constitutes a single Metal Gear saga. With Metal Gear Solid 5, I'm finally closing the loop on that saga. So that goes a trilogy, and now comes in the saga. I'm predicting that there's going to be a 6th game with Kojima.
Lily, hug. Oh, number 1. Ah.
In February 2012, Kojima Productions started recruiting developers for the next Metal Gear game, and was known as Project Ogre. On December the 7th, 2012, a trailer for a game titled The Phantom Pain was revealed during the 2012 Spike Video Game Awards. The trailer claimed that the game was being developed by a Swedish company called Moby Dick Studios, led by a man covered in bandages called Joaquin Morgan, which by the addition of an M is an anagram of Kojima and Ogre. Despite this and numerous clues suggesting that the trailer was for a new game in the Metal Gear series, Kojima misdirected to us. When asked about it, he laughed and said that while he saw the resemblance between Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain, it was being developed by Moby Dick Studio, and it had nothing to do with it, as he was working on the next Metal Gear. Then at GDC 2013, Kojima comes out dressed in bandages to reveal himself to be Joaquin Morgan, which everyone had pretty much figured out. As the internet audience has grown to be more informed, sceptical, their collective brain power rised throughout the years, and they were able to figure out a lot of Kojima's ruses. So in conclusion, I don't believe this will be the last game and that Kojima will still heavily be involved. Replaying Ground Zeroes reminds me of the demo disc of Sons of Liberty. It is setting up a story that I think will be heavily changed in Phantom Pain. Furthermore, Phantom Pain is the game that will show how Big Boss become the evil villain that he is in Metal Gear and his downfall. The title itself is a reference to the sensations described by an individual who has lost a limb or an organ. The potential of Kojima being removed from the series will cause gamers a phantom pain when playing the game. We'll wonder if this is still his work, and wonder if this still feels like a Metal Gear Solid game. However, if this isn't the case, then I've got to say I am happy for him. He's long lamented about how he is tied to the game and that he needs to get out and do something else. I was so excited at the announcement of his involvement in Silent Hills, finally bringing the game back to a Japanese studio. The games made by Western studios never really captured the mood and the atmosphere of the Silent Hill series. In true Kojima style, he dropped the interactive teaser, or demo, called PT on the PlayStation Network and didn't say a word. No one knew what was going on. It was just beautiful. He just watched the internet explode in speculation and rumour, and then people finally figuring out how to do it. He's a true auteur and a true working troll.
Lily, make me your bitch. Ah! No! Ah! Oh, bonus point.
Like many Metal Gear Solid fans, I was outraged and shocked by the announcement that longtime voice of Snake, David Hayter, will not be returning to these new games. Instead, we have the voice talents of Kiefer Sutherland. Now, I don't believe this, and I hope this is another trolling attempt by Kojima, or part of the story. I ascribe to the new Coke theory about this, which you guys can read about online. What I would also like to say is that Decoy Octopus is still alive at this point.
Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I'm going to be doing a couple more of these top 5 videos in the future, and I will be also uploading all gameplay footage as and when I do it. What I would like to say is that I did call it right with Zelda being delayed in my last Rambling Conspiracy video. So clearly I'm a prophet and I know the future, hence why I'm putting this on my head to stop anything infecting it. Anyway, as ever, please leave us a like, dislike, give us a comment in the feedback below. We'll try and figure out how to do this, me and Lily here. So yeah, see you guys soon. Bye.